I expected it to be one. The games have been kind of weird and perhaps not like sloppy, but just scrappy, all action all over the place.
Yeah.
Must be really intense to be part of it. The final map is going to be played on Derelict Watcher. There's so much on the line, Sean.
This is huge. I mean, for Oz, he is just barely outside of the top 16 for BlizzCon. If he can get a win here today, he will catapult himself into that ranking and be able to attend the Global World Final. For Polt, he would be a first ever back-to-back winner. Both of them want this bad. Let's hop into the next match. Up in the top right-hand corner, he's amazing when he's on the offense. But can he keep it on the defense in this match? It all comes down to this for CM Storm's Polt! And down in the bottom left, no matter how far behind he is, you can never count him out. He's willing to take huge risks for a huge reward, and he's looking to get one big today from EG. It is Oz! Oz.
Rawr.
Woo.
Oh. What do you think we're going to see, Sean? This is one of the best Blinkstalker maps out there. Blinkstalker all in game number 5. Would you?
I actually think Oz should do his exact style. This is one of the best maps to go Blink Stalkers on. The main, very vulnerable to drops, but also has a lot of just space. If you're dropping in a Protoss main and you try to load up and retreat, there's a lot of room for those Stalkers to blink under you and pick you off. I would love to see Oz do his usual style. Do like Polt's choice to go for Reaper, because he wants to get in the early scout too. He wants to make sure that, like you say, he doesn't lose to a big all-in.
He lost that Reaper a little early on Youngsu. It wasn't super early. He did get the original scout down, but as a Terran player, you would really love to keep that Reaper alive. Certainly when you play against Oz, as Oz often loves to throw down his tech buildings when he's already, or when he's only on a single gateway. So he won't have too many gateway units out there, and then you can immediately see, is he opening up with a forge? Is it going to be a Twilight Council or a quick robotics facility? So I think Polt, he definitely wants to be as careful as possible with the Reaper this game.
Zella coming out. Oz, though, has not constructed his second gas geyser. That implies that he would really love to cancel that Zealot if he could. Probe's going to be moving down to try to avoid getting blocked by an eBay. And, oh, the timing's right, and there's the cancel. Boom, Nexus goes down, no block.
Curious if he's going to go Mothership Core and Warp Gate technology before the Stalker again. I think it's still a little risky, and last time he lost a single probe. I think this time he might end up losing 2 probes. Even though the Mothership Core is pretty good in dealing with the Reaper, it's just not as fast, and you're definitely going to have to micro your probes. Seems to be the case. Oh no, this time he's going to get stopped. No, he's still going to get Warp Gate technology, so we will see what this Reaper will get done.
Oh, now that's a conservative move from Oz. I mean, there's, you have to figure out when do I build my third pylon, my assimilator, Warp Gate. And it looks like Warp Gate last is going to be Oz's choice. This is most often done when players are intending on going for a robo play. The extremely fast chrono boost on the Stalker, though, does kind of imply that he wouldn't mind going for Blink either. Trying to hide some tech.
Good movement here with the Mothership Core. He pushed the Reaper out as far as possible. Polt could have taken a risk and tried to kill a probe, maybe even 2, but then he would also pretty much guarantee himself that he would lose the Reaper, and he wants to keep it alive for as long as possible. Stalker and Mothership Core are going to try to make their way across the map. This is something that he did on Youngsu, and I think worked out very well for him.
Well, looks like he's pulling the Stalker back and is going to use his second Stalker to pick off. This is kind of painful, though, for Oz. Oz is choosingly delaying his tech. He has all the money in the world to do this.
He will get the Reaper again, so that's kind of nice. Twilight Council goes down immediately. Bunker is not up yet. Do we have any Marines here? We got 4 Marines over here, so I think by the time that these Stalkers make their way across the map, there will be a bunker, and it's also on top of a ramp, which is different because it's a different map layout than Youngsu. So it's going to be a lot harder for Oz to be a successful early game, as he was on map number 3 in this best of 5.
Take some hits on the Mothership Core, no problem. It was just shields, 2 Stalkers move out, third one en route. Chrono Boost have to go down on those Nexuses early on. Oz is going to sneak in just a 3rd assimilator, not a 4th one yet, just to stay low enough on gas that he can still afford to build a lot of Stalkers, because those are very mineral heavy.
He tried to see all the Rexes with the Mothership Core, but that is not going to work. Factory is being built, but it's all the way in the back of the base, so it's not been scouted yet. Blink is being researched, quite a few probes are still in production. Now, we mentioned the Blink Stalker earlier already, it's extremely good on this map, it's also extremely popular among a lot of pros players. Ooh. 3 gates going down, so how he was faking it on Yangzhou, this might actually not be a fake. He's doing it off 2 bases, so his economy is going to be better than it's of 1 base. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go, Sean.
Well, there's no robo yet, which is another way of saying, I bet that you are not going to be going for tech, and he sees the barracks. That's a big moment for Oz. Polt throwing down the 2 bunkers. Polt doesn't really know what's up yet, but man, why go to 4 gates right now unless you're planning some big attack? I actually would not be surprised to see 3 more gates go down in an MC-style Blink all-in versus Terran to bust out.
He is already starting to throw down a few pylons. He left 2 Stalkers down the ramp. Polt is sort of expecting this, but MMA said this as well. Even when you know it's coming, even when you scout it, it is still extremely hard to defend. You're going to need a lot of Marauders. He has 2 of them. He hasn't really scanned at all. He might throw down a scan real soon, figuring out what's going on. Robotics facility is going down, so there is definitely a follow-up here. I think that Oz is just faking it, but why did he make the 4 gates if it's a fake?
I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of times your eyes get big and you think, wait a minute, I can do this right now. I got this. And then you think, no, this is not the right time. I need to pull back. And we're going to see a Blink spin revealed.
Yep.
But remember, not a big deal. This is the standard play for Oz.
This Nexus is very quick though. It's a lot quicker than in the previous games. 8 minute and 50-second third base before the Terran. Polt is going to be active with Stimmed Marines and Marauders soon. He's going to throw down a missile turret again as well. Just in case he has to worry about Dark Templars again. He knows there is a Twilight Council because of the Blink. This is going to be a tough defense for Oz. Robo Bay is going down. He's not going to have a whole lot of gateway units. Photon Overcharge is going to have to be used very cautiously and on the right moment.
I mean, Oz doing some brilliance. Forcing some stims that didn't need to go down. 2 more medevacs en route. Great proxy pylon position for Oz.
Stalkers.
Being a little sneaky. Another forced stim. This is so good by Oz. He just needs this Nexus to finish, because once the Nexus is down, you can turn it into a cannon.
Robo Bay is about to finish up as well, so you could say in roughly 40 seconds from this point on, he's going to have his first Colossus out on the map, and that 1 Colossus is going to help out so much against the 21 Marines that we currently have on the map. Polt wants to be extremely careful with his units too. It is not easy to drop when you know your opponent has Blink Stalkers. You want to be careful. Throws down a scan, picks off the Observer, is going to make it a little harder, and this 1 Christopher Columbus did discover the Nexus.
Oh, looks like another pack of Zealots arriving. Where is that Mothership Core? It's floating over the natural expansion. There's the stim. Direct target fire by Oz. Is this the right move? Did Polt overextend?
1 medevac will fall, but additional medevacs are coming in. The force fields are going to land. He's going to push units away, but all the Stalkers get picked off.
What a play from Polt, but I don't know who comes out ahead or behind in that spot.
Well, he picked off these Stalkers as well, and these Stalkers are expensive units. I think this was okay for Polt. Yes, he lost quite a few bio units. He lost a medevac, but he did reset that third base, and he picked off all the Stalkers that are so useful in picking off drops throughout the entire game that I think it's safe to say that this was a good move for Polt. Excellent focus fire on these Stalkers as well.
So dicey, that Mothership Core in the wrong place. Unable to throw down that Photon Overcharge. I mean, if the Overcharge had been there, I think that Oz would have held.
Yeah, he's able to pick up that second medevac for sure. He might even be able to drop a time warp, so a few of those bio units would have been a little later to the party. That was definitely okay for Polt, and I don't know where this big boy is going, but he has to be very careful. He's not very strong without his friends.
Well, looks like Polt yet again preparing to do his trademark 2 control group aggression. First he's going to move to the front. He's going to start sweeping for vision, making sure that he can see everything on the map. And everything's looking good in Camp Polt. There's those 3 barracks going down. Look at that. It's before 13 minutes they wind up going down. There
are 5 gateways on the map at the moment for Oz. He might throw down a few additional gateways soon as well, as soon as his Nexus is back up. His probe count is on a pretty good number. Polt has a few more workers, but that's because Oz has been investing in a lot of upgrades as well, and he's obviously going to need a few units to defend against everything too. He has Colossus out on the map already. Second starport going down already as well for Polt. That is different than what we've seen in other games.
This is another way of saying I want to win this game now. He is going to try to blast down the front with an SCV pull right in between that transition period.
I think maybe with a few force fields he might have been able to pick off a few SVs, this is going to be a super narrow window for Polt. If he wants to hit before Storm, Templar Archives is being warped in as we speak.
He's going to get 2 Vikings out of the starport, and then he is going to go.
Big SCV train as well.
No doubt. I mean, that's the only time you can be hoping to hit, but we've seen Oz get unusually early Storm. Most players take a while to transition over to Storm in this spot, but Oz has been so on point with it again and again and again, so that means that, I mean, Polt might run headlong into a giant pack of Storm.
Even though he didn't scout that drop, he just kind of felt it coming as he put units in the right position. He also has units in the main, so he won't take damage from this. Ghost Academy is going down for Polt as well. That surprises me a little bit, as I had the feeling that he was going to try to win with just an overwhelming amount of Vikings. Right-click on the Colossus, pull all the SCVs and make a big Terran party.
Well, looks like he's going to actually go for Raven, which is a weird thing that we saw him do on Yonsu. It's going to be another one of these long-term games. Oz being so smart with that excess energy on his sentries, throwing down additional hallucinations.
Taking a look at the upgrades at the moment. 1-1 is done, 1-2 is on the way. Polt is on double engineering base, so he's going to finish 2-1. So upgrades are very even. Tech-wise, I would say it's kind of even too, as we have 2 starports and a Ghost Academy going down against Colossus and High Templars. It's all going to come down to execution. Polt has a slightly bigger army, has 118 army supply against 100. Oz knows about these units on the south side of the map. Derelict is a hard map to see everything though as a Protoss player, because it's so wide open in the middle of the map that 1 or 2 observers are just not going to cut it.
Oh, it looks like Oz is just hoping that Polt's actually out of position. He's just going to blast down the front door before Polt can get his ghosts up. Polt is ready to do a counter again.
Templar Archives is very exposed. Might fall. We're going to have an engagement in the middle of the map as well. Storm's going down. Polt's units are in the natural of Oz.
But it also looks like Polt is on the run up in mid. Zealots have arrived in time to try to defend the natural expansion, and somehow I think Oz is going to be able to pull this one out.
Reinforcements have arrived indeed, but not before this Nexus is going down, and maybe a couple of these manifacts will be able to get out as well. Polt lost a lot of units there though. At the same time, he's going to drop this third base. Big warp in, the pylon might fall. No, the pylon is not going to fall, so Oz will be okay for now. Ooh. Such a tense game here. Game number 5.
Players missing a beat at this point in time. Polt's money stockpiling high because he's trying to macro his heart out. Building a command center front and center. Very likely that's going to be a planetary fortress, or he might even just float it straight on over to the expansion. Polt is getting to that excess funds point, and this is the time that Oz really needs to strike. Oz is finishing up his +2 armor upgrade. What's going over at Polt's side? 2-1 actually slipped up and didn't get the second engineering bay researching.
It's so hard to call this at the moment. What Oz should do, he doesn't have a whole lot of map vision. Moving out is extremely dangerous. Polt is preparing himself for a more defensive later stage in this game. I love how Oz is summoning these hallucinated phoenixes throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Army supply, there is still an advantage for Polt. We're gonna have this one raid. Oh, that's actually a pretty big advantage. It's 40. There are 6 ghosts as well against 3 High Templars. Ooh. I think that Oz could have taken this 5th and 6th assimilator a lot quicker. Oz is very active with his army because he sees so little out on the map. It is not impossible for Oz to defend this, but it is going to be very hard.
Well, there's the drop up into the main base. A couple of Zealots are there to greet it. It is not nearly going to be enough. The Vikings stampede forward. Look at how many Vikings there are, and there are not enough Blinkstalkers to deal with it. Polt is just storming the front. Polt storming the back, hitting it all sides.
This drop in the main is going to deal so much damage that even if Oz is able to defeat this army, he is still going to be in a very dicey position after losing all his Colossus, most of his High Templars as well. There will be one Colossus trying to deal with this drop, but it's not even enough. Polt is all over the place and is simply out multitasking Oz at the moment.
Multitasking is phenomenal. The 4th base lands for Polt, and that's going to instantly become a planetary fortress. Polt is not missing a beat, throwing down more planetaries, throwing down defense. Huge number of ghosts, going to replace all the Marine count with ghosts. I mean, it's looking like we're going to have the newcomer Biel going up against the champion Polt.
Reigning champion, back-to-back finals is something that no player has achieved in any of the WCS regions. It's super impressive. 188 supply. Polt engaging into this 3rd base of Oz right now, and there is not a single unit here trying to defend it.
Well, there's the target fire on the Nexus. The units try to dash to catch up. A couple of force fields thrown down, futile. I mean, Oz is just falling apart. His worker count is quite high, but he only has one Nexus to return to. Proxy pylons getting picked off. Pylons in the main going down too.
Robotics facility going down. No more Colossus for quite a while. There will be a few units trying to deal with this drop. Oz is trying to hang in there for dear life, but Polt's economy is just so huge. He's maxed out. He has a good bank. He's up to 4 bases. Everything is working for Polt.
Beautiful, beautiful job by Polt in this game. His ghost count at 9. 12 medevacs, 12 Vikings, all the power gas units. What is there to answer? Oz has only 3 High Templar, 1 Colossus, and a pack of 21 Zealots that are going to have to do way more than I think is possible.
We're going to need some massive storms, that's for sure.
Storms are going to have to literally, I mean, Polt is going to have to like click and spam clump all his units.
And press hold position.
Uh-oh, this could be the final attack. The spread is tremendous. Ghost darting to the front. EMP's nail. Only 1 storm remains, and it is not the one that he needed. Everything evaporates under 100 supply. The probes tumble down. Polt is inches away from his second back-to-back final. Good game. Polt advances.
What a great game, what a great series by Polt. I think it's safe to say that he looked very good throughout the entire series. Oz obviously very disappointed.